this video, make sure you're nice and warm. So maybe you take this video after a flow class or after you've done a little bit of core work. We're going to really need to utilize our core today and our shoulders and our upper body. Okay, so if you have never done a headstand before, just make sure if you have any issues with the neck, any contraindications like previous injury or aches and pains, it might be a good idea to skip this video and come back to it at a different time. All right, before we get started, number one thing to remember when coming into a headstand is to never kick up or jump up. It can be really tempting once we find the starting position to just want to use your momentum and your power to kick and jump up, but we want to be really careful of our head and neck and do this as safely as possible. When you actually rise up into your headstand, you're going to do something called floating up, which is really just moving slowly with control into the pose. You also will notice that when you're doing it in a safe manner, more of the work is coming from your upper body and shoulders and your core muscles, and there shouldn't actually be a ton of pressure on your head. All right, so we're going to figure out the starting position with the arms. When you bring your arms out in front of you, clasp opposite elbows. Now from here, bring the palms up to meet. This is going to be the starting position with your arms. You're going to find this little clasp of just cupping one hand around the other, or you can interlace the fingers if you'd like. Sometimes that can make you feel a little more secure. Then from here, we're going to get to know what the crown of our head is. So ultimately, when you roll into your headstand and you're all the way vertical, the crown of your head is what's going to be meeting the top of, or what's going to be making contact with the mat. Now, the crown of your head can be found by bringing the heel of your palm to this space right between the eyebrows, and then letting your palm rest on your head. This point where your middle finger touches the top of your head, that's approximately the crown of your head. Now, when we actually bring our head down onto the mat, we're going to initially make contact a little further forward towards the front of the head than the crown, because as you slowly roll up into it, you're going to shift backwards on your head, and the crown of your head is ultimately going to be what makes contact with the mat in the long run. All right, so let's take this down to the ground. We're going to bring our palms to opposite elbows, find that clasp, find your distance, and then we're going to place it down on the mat. From here, bring the head down a little tiny bit further forward than the crown of the head. You might have to play around with that. You'll figure it out through trial and error. Then we're going to fire up the low belly, tuck the toes, lift the knees, fire up the shoulders, press the floor away, walk your feet in as far towards you as you can until you can't walk them in anymore. Then see if you can lift one set of toes, tap them down, lift the other set of toes, tap them down. Maybe you lift this set of toes and slowly rise up and lift the other, both knees to chest. You can stay here or lengthen the legs towards the sky. I've got a little wall here. I can just kind of tap with my heel whenever I feel like I'm going to fall out. Press the floor away, nice fiery shoulders, and slowly lower all the way back down with as much control as possible. Okay, so that's your headstand. We're going to try one more way to come up into it. This way, for some folks, feels more advanced. For some folks, it feels easier. It's just going to depend on where your body's at and what's going on in your practice today. All right, same starting position, bringing the palms to elbows, finding your clasp, bringing it down to the mat, and then we're going to place the head. Now this time, we're going to tuck the toes, lift the knees, walk the feet in as much as we can, and really zip the thighs together and see if we can float both legs at a time. Nice. I've got my wall there for a little bit of support. Press the floor away with the shoulders. Zip the thighs together. Maybe even point the toes to find that full activation of the legs. Low belly draws in and slowly lower. All right. Great job, yogis. I hope you had a fun time inverting today, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a great day, and namaste.